On the news, 10 persons feared dead, many injured as bandits invade Kuka Babangida village in Katsina State. Nigerian military troops destroy notorious military enclaves, kills scores of terrorists. And 11 new Supreme Court justices to be sworn in next week. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Atiku. 10 people have been killed and numerous more injured in a new attack on Thursday at Kuka Babangida village in Katsina State's Jibia local government area by suspected bandits. Among those killed were the Kuka Babangida village head, Zuerin Katsina, along with his 4 biological children. Locals revealed that the bandits stormed the village at about 1:30 a.m. on Thursday when the majority of residents were sound asleep. Kuka Babangida remains one of the vulnerable villages grappling with the activities of bandits since the emergence of banditry in the state. Meanwhile, the Nigerian armed forces have been handed a massive boost in its efforts to get the better of terrorists, insurgents and bandits in the country. At a press briefing at the defense quarters in Abuja, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, revealed that in the last 1 week, it has witnessed the destruction of various terrorist enclaves following air interdictions. Our correspondent, Emeka Mako, files this report from Abuja.
The decision of the defense headquarters to invite this much of its correspondents underscores the significance of keeping Nigerians abreast of its military operations and leaving no one behind. The Nigerian troops have hit the ground running in the new year by maintaining an aggressive posture with a resounding success within the last 1 week. According to Major General Buba, the air interdictions and ground maneuvers of the military resulted in the arrest of 30 perpetrators of oil thefts, destructions of several illegal refinery sites, and the recovery of over 1 million stolen petroleum products worth over ₹500 million.
In the South-South, we denied the oil theft of an estimated sum of over 736 million naira during the week. Additionally, we discovered and destroyed 37 dugout pits, 65 boats, 71 storage tanks, and 14 vehicles. Other items recovered include 108 cooking ovens and 60 illegal refining sites equally destroyed during the week. Troops recovered over 1 million liters of stolen crude oil during the week and not less than 299,000 liters of illegal refined AGO, as well as not less than 3,100 liters of DPK.
Also speaking on the unethical conduct of some military personnel, the defense spokesperson reiterated that the Nigerian military as a professional force will not tolerate indiscipline.
If any member of the military is found misbehaving, we urge the public to report. It is even easier now that there is social media. Please, video and send to us and check and see whether or not we will not act. That is the much that I can say about that. So when you see something, you say something to us.
On the reported abduction which occurred along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway in the Federal Capital Territory, General Buba assures the security agencies have been deployed to the location.
In the last 1 week, we have arrested several of them, and they are providing intelligence to support our operations.
Major General Buba further revealed the armed forces are hunting down prominent terrorist leaders and engaging them wherever they are hiding. These operations, he added, are being conducted in accordance with the law of armed conflict and based on intelligence.
Insecurity and crimes have remained a huge challenge for successive governments in Nigeria. While a high crime rate predates insecurity, which escalated the emergence of the Boko Haram group in 2010, the two issues have persistently altered the trajectory of peace in the nation as stakeholders, including citizens, government and foreign partners, labor to contain the menace. Security experts say the government must ensure that national security formations are more effective and efficient and avoid using ad hoc means for addressing security challenges. The government must also ensure that national security formations are effective and efficient and avoid using ad hoc means for addressing security challenges.
We have been looking at a situation where you don't continue to do the same thing the same way for a very long time. Remember, we were talking of state police. Places are supposed to have a DPO, and the DPO is supposed to have people under him who are going to, go for operations and stuff like that. For a police force, which is about just a little bit above 300,000, to cover up all these ungoverned spaces and at the same time to, meet up the United Nations requirement for policemen per citizen, it's not met. And we cannot just be giving this thing to it. Some people say, oh, there's no money to kit them or salaries or something like that. But remember, the security of the citizen is a fundamental issue of government. We should do that before we start thinking about going to buy SUVs for whoever, So if we are not serious with security, these kind of things are going to happen all the time.
11 new justices are set to be sworn into the Supreme Court of Nigeria next week, bringing the court to its full complement of 21 justices for the first time in its history. The appointments were approved by the Senate in December 2023 at the request of President Bola Tinubu. The new justices come from all regions of the country, and their appointment are seen as an effort to improve the diversity of the court. The swearing-in ceremony is expected to take place on Monday, January 16th. All 5 branches of the Nigerian Bar Association NBA in Lagos have converged at the Bar Center Ikeja to march in a protest to address police brutality of one of their members. The demonstration comes on the heels of the recent assault on Lagos-based lawyer Olumide Shonubi while seeking bail for his clients in a police station at Gowon Estate. Correspondent Comfort Samuel has details.
On December 30th, 2023, a member of the Nigerian Bar Association was reportedly hospitalized after being detained over an alleged assault of a police officer during negotiations. He spent 2 nights in the police cell. To this end, the members of the Nigerian Bar Association from various chapters have staged a peaceful protest, which took place from the NBA Bar Center in Ikeja down to the office of the Lagos State Police Commissioner. The members in their numbers carried placards protesting against police brutality, intimidation and harassment. Prior to the protest, the CP and his entourage paid a solidarity visit to the NBA Center to assure the members of the association. The CP was given a letter of petition requesting a review of CCTV footage and conducting thorough investigation as regards to what played out on the set dates.
We are very concerned about the various attempts that we have seen on the part of security agencies in Nigeria to impede the work that we do as lawyers. The due process of law should take its course. But what is totally unacceptable, is that a lawyer be assaulted or intimidated in the course of providing legal services to his client.
Speaking at the meeting, the Commissioner of Police Lagos State says magistrate visits to the police station will be seamless under his watch. He, however, calls for collaboration with lawyers.
The investigation is ongoing, and we even love to co-opt some of you nominated members of the distinguished lawyers there to be part of the investigation. I've also ordered that the DPO should be removed, apart from issuing him a departmental query, which goes a long way to affect, which will go a long way in affecting his career progression. That is even more serious than removing him from as DPO.
On his part, human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, described the act as barbaric, calling for a complete end to police harassment of lawyers.
We can resolve today, and I do believe that we have resolved, never to allow police brutality again. No to police brutality. And for Nigerian lawyers, the message has gone out today that never are we going to allow lawyers to be brutalized in our country.
Meanwhile, the victim, Barrister Olumide Shonubi, narrates his ordeal with the police at the Gowon station, saying justice must be served and the perpetrators be brought to book in accordance with the law.
I want them to be brought to book, both IPO Grace, the area commander, and the DPO, even the DCO. They should be brought to book.
We are condemning the act of the DPO, and we are saying that the police would have to do a thorough investigation involving the Nigerian Bar Association.
The body therefore requested the immediate removal of those involved and tasked the command to bring them into justice within their administrative competence. Comfort Samuel, TV 360 News, Lagos.
The World Bank says Nigeria's inflation should ease in 2024 as the effect of the foreign exchange market convergence and the removal of petroleum subsidy on the economy wanes. In its Global Economic Prospect Report for January 2024, the Bretton Woods Institution foresees Nigeria's per capita income to return to its pre-pandemic level by 2025. Correspondent Jide Olaniran completes the story in this next report.
It's not uncommon for the World Bank and other organizations to predict economic outlook for a new year, but for a country like Nigeria, which experienced slow growth of under 3% in 2023, to have the World Bank revise our growth projections, foreseeing a promising expansion of 3.3% in 2024.
As far as the growth projections are concerned, I am completely mixed. The policies, the two policies that we have seen our government implement, in the last 6 or 7 months, will not result in any significant growth in the short term, and probably not even in the medium term, especially when you consider the structural dislocations in our economy and how very difficult it is for policies to trickle down to affect the people on the streets.
Helen Emore is an entrepreneurship and innovation expert who thinks that achieving an expansive growth like the pre-pandemic days will require fixing insecurity, infrastructure, consistent policies, and ease of doing business.
The whole of the northwest, northeast, north central Nigeria are under sea. So people are not traveling by road like they should in those areas. And it is travel and movement that moves wealth and prosperity around. So even the agriculture that everybody talks about, people can't go to their farms. People are scared of going to their farms. Or there are places where you hear that people are paying ransom to bandits and terrorists. So insecurity is a major factor. We need to deal with it so that the country can experience a very strong growth in the agricultural sector.
Energizing the small, medium enterprises and the micro, small, and medium enterprises, which are the drivers of economic growth through subsidies, fiscal policies, and power, as the government has promised, will go a long way.
If government wants entrepreneurs to do well, we have to support them. Government has to support them. You have to provide resources. You have to provide subsidies. You saw that in Germany, that farmers block the highways because government is removing tax subsidies. In Nigeria, you open your shop or your business, you put a signboard there, you can be rest assured that within 30 days, you will get a visit from at least 10 different groups saying that they want to collect taxes or levies or co. So am I going to be doing business for government, or I'm supposed to do business so I can grow? I'll choose a business that allows me to grow without harassment. So the government needs to really, really look at policies that will help entrepreneurs.
Unlike the World Bank optimistic projections concerning Nigeria, the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs in its World Economic Situation and Prospect 2024 report suggests a slow growth due to rising public debts, persistent inflation, high cost of living, and weak business environment, which need to be fixed. Jide Olaniran, TV 360 Lagos.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Injury hit Umar Sadiq adds to Super Eagles' crisis as AFCON tournament draws near. We'll give you details when we return. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. 10 people have been killed and numerous more injured in a new attack on Thursday at Kukar Babangida village in Katsina State's Jibia local government area by suspected bandits. Among those killed were the Kukar Babangida village head, Zuaren Katsina, along with his 4 biological children. Locals revealed that the bandits stormed the village at about 1:30 a.m. on Thursday when majority of the residents were sound asleep. We also told you that 11 new justices are set to be sworn in to the Supreme Court of Nigeria next week, bringing the court to its full complement of 21 justices for the first time in its history. The appointments were approved by the Senate in December 2023 at the request of President Bola Tinubu. The swearing-in ceremony is expected to take place on Monday, January 16th. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're TV360 Online. Welcome back. Let's now join Tamilore Aki-Kwolie for more updates on the business scene. Over to you, Tamilore.
Thank you, Simisola. Hello and welcome to Business News. In the world of business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has officially dissolved the board and management of 3 major banks, Union Bank, Keystone Bank, and Polaris Bank. A press release dated January 10, 2024, revealed that this action was taken due to the bank's non-compliance with critical regulatory provisions shortly after the dissolution operation of the board and management of the banks, the Central Bank of Nigeria swiftly appointed new appointees to oversee the operation of these financial institutions. Earlier on, I spoke to Segun Shokwiton, an economist, about the Central Bank of Nigeria firing the board of the three banks. I began by asking his thought on the sack of the bank's board and management by the CBN and the justification of reasons given for the action.
Without very, very clear explanations, is disturbing, and it's a very terrible signal to send to the investing world out there. If you look at the things that the central bank has given as a reason, is that those banks have contravened Section 12, C, G, C, F, G, and H, I think, of the Banks and Other Financial Financial Institutions Act, OFIA 2020. And if you examine, the provisions of that section of that act, you find that there is absolutely nothing cogent that you can hold on to that is enough basis and justification for the central bank to make this move that it has made. So it's very disturbing, and one can only hope that, especially in the case of Union Bank, that the ownership of that bank will address this issue through all legal means available to it. Bearing in mind that the acquisition of Union Bank by Titan Trust Bank was actually, went through all of the standard acquisition due diligence processes and was advised and run by some of the biggest investment banks in the world, Citibank Group and Rothschild Group. So this is a very confusing move from the central bank, and I hope it is not true that this is as a result of the report of the special investigator appointed by the president to review, the bank's activities following the removal of Godwin Emefiele.
All right, Mr. Shokwiton, now the new executives have been appointed. What about the board, and how long can they operate without a board?
Well, the central bank has appointed board members, so it would appear as though there have been 2 or 3 people appointed for each one of these banks. Those people will run the affairs of the bank, 1 managing director and 1 executive director each. In some cases, 2 executive directors in addition to the managing director. Those people will run the affairs of the bank until a new board is constituted. Obviously, due to corporate governance requirements, that constitution of a new board will happen, very quickly. But I think that before we move on, we need to understand what has just happened to us. We need to understand what has just happened to the country with this move. What about the investment? $500 million, for example, that was invested by the TGI Group, who are the core investors in Union Bank now. What happens to that? Can you just wave that away? Can you throw all of that money down the drain just by one single pronouncement by the Central Bank of Nigeria on the back or as a result of a special investigation that has not come out with very substantial evidence, for all of the allegations made in that report? We cannot afford to reduce policy making, especially in the financial sector, to this level. It's very dangerous.
We'll take a breather here. The stock market report is next. Cocoa Boss rebounded from its previous day negative trade, going northward by 0.7%, with the all-share index at 82,000 basis points and the market cap at 45.21 trillion naira. Now, at the end of trading, 125 listed NGI equities participated in trading, with a positive market breadth of 48 gainers against 22 losers. Now, all thanks to these investors, Royal Exchange led the gainers league with a 10% share price appreciation, followed closely by Guinea Insurance, which also had a 10% share price appreciation, closing at 0.99 naira per share and followed by 0.44 naira. respectively. Now, for our market summary, 887 million volumes of shares were exchanged in 14,919 deals valued at over 14 billion naira. Now, when compared to the previous day trading, today's data shows 47% decline in volume, 43% decline in turnover, and 26% decline in deals. Now, a shift now to our select global stock. World stock market tapped the brakes on Thursday as traders digested the latest U.S. inflation data after the United States approved the first exchange-traded funds to trade Bitcoin. Now, this decision by the states gave the UK FTSE and US Dow Jones a bearish trade at 0.87% and 0.61%, leaving only the Japan Nikkei in a bullish trade at 1.77%. And that's all on Business and Stock Market Report. Over to you, Simi.
Very much, Samila. On the foreign scene, Somalia's government says it is working to rescue the passengers of a United Nations helicopter that was captured by Al-Shabaab fighters. A spokesman announced this on Thursday, but military officers believe it will be difficult to access the area where they were taken. The helicopter took off from the city of Beledweyne and landed close to Gadoon village in the Galadod region due to a technical glitch. According to a memo, there were 9 passengers on the plane, including military personnel and a third-party contractor. At least 6 of the passengers were reportedly seized by Al-Shabaab. In a brief statement on Wednesday, the UN says response efforts were underway. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Sophia Momodu, the mother of Davido's child Imade, has issued a cease and desist order against the singer. In a document dated January 10, 2024, Momodu, through her lawyers, accused the singer of cyberbullying, harassment, and threat to her life. The document said the singer had paid blogs to publish false statements about her. The document also emphasized that there had been previous emails to the singer's legal team regarding the matter, which had been ignored. Going on, they said Davido would be held responsible if anything happened to Momodu. Momodu's petition comes a day after singer Savage wrote a petition to the police against Davido on similar claims. She also alleged that he threatened her life because of her friendship with his baby mama and requested that the Lagos State Police Command look into it. In response, the police launched investigations into the matter. Joseph Aloba, the father of the late singer Mohbad, has made grave charges against Wunmi, his son's wife, and Femi Falana, her attorney. Aloba revealed in an interview that his daughter-in-law is threatening to kill him. The short Mohbad's father said he didn't know where to go for protection, as Wunmi is threatening to hurt him, which Femi Falana is aware of. He confirmed that in a call made to him on an unfamiliar number, his daughter-in-law made threats to end his life, and for purpose of evidence, he said he recorded the call. Since Nigerian singer Mohbad died on September 12, 2023 at the age of 27, his father and widow Wunmi have butted edge concerning the singer's possession and assets. Aloba has also been insistent on Wunmi conducting a paternity test on their son Liam. In the midst of the back and forth, she obtained legal representation from lawyer Femi Falana. And that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now. Okpayemi Owoshini, TV360 News, Lagos.
With barely 4 days before their opening game at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, another Nigerian striker, Umar Sadiq, is a major doubt. The Super Eagles will begin their quest at the tournament when they take on the Nzelang Nacional of Equatorial Guinea in their opening group game on Sunday. Coach Jose Pizarro earlier had replaced Victor Boniface with Terem Murphy after the Bayer Leverkusen striker suffered an injury. Meanwhile, 26-year-old Sadiq was said to have picked up a knock during their 2-0 loss to Guinea's Sally Stars during their friendly match on Monday. The technical crew say it will continue to assess the player and hope he recovers in time before their opening fixture. Well, that's all on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.